Today we've got an experiment on the channel, which is the best coaching staff versus the worst coaching staff. This has been an experiment requested by so many of you, and it's been one that I've been trying to achieve since FM23. I have done so many simulations that have failed. I've done so many different variations of this to try and make it work, and finally, we have made it work. Today, it's Chesterfield versus Rochdale, the best staff versus the worst staff. Let's jump in. I am so gassed for this, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a long time coming. It has been so difficult to achieve, and I'll tell you why. If you're bored and you don't want to know the ins and outs of this and a bit of peek behind the scenes and a bit of the admin, skip forward a couple of minutes because I'm going to be waffling. So, I'll show you with Chesterfield. We've got a full squad of mid-journey players, of course, 90 current ability, 200 potential ability. They have professional personality, but that is, by the by, Rochdale's exactly the same players, exactly the same squads, 90 out of 200. Right, onto staff. Chesterfield have got the perfect staff, as you could probably tell from the squad screen. There's all the players, there's all the staff. Now, firstly, when you're in the lower leagues, you don't have as many staff slots open. So I went to the Premier League and worked out how many staff that they had and decided to go into the pre-game editor and put them in at these lower league clubs. But that's not all you can do, I'm afraid. The problem is, right, when you try and put future transfers on staff, it doesn't seem to want to work. And if you've tried it in the pre-game editor and it doesn't seem to want to work, here is the tip. When you go in and add that future transfer, you've got to select their future job role at the next club. I learnt this on the video that's not come out on the channel at the time of recording, but will be out by the time you watch this, the perfect manager locked at Leicester. So to get him locked at Leicester for 50 years, I had to get him to become the manager of another club. So I put the future transfer in, didn't seem to work. Changed his future role to just be a manager, and it worked. So I thought, the perfect staff. So I went in, added them all in the pre-game editor. Perfect staff for Sheffield, perfect staff for Chesterfield, worst staff for Colchester, worst staff for Rochdale. And as you can see here, if we click on Perfect Coach 1, the transfer is to Al Nasser on the 1st of the 7th, 2055. Now, the players only stay until 2045, so the coach is going to stay a few more years. I think that was a misclick, to be honest, but yeah, you know, it is what it is. I've not made any of the faces for the staff either. Sorry, shoot me. 10 staff, perfect assistant manager, 2 goalkeeping coaches, 2 fitness coaches, a set piece coach, and 4 regulation coaches. Just to round things off, we're going to quickly look at Rochdale, and we're going to see that they have got the worst staff, ones for everything. Now, the thought process is, as well, as these guys and as these teams progress through the leagues, I would expect them not to open up extra slots for staff. So, in theory, they'll still have these staff when they get to the Premier League and try to qualify into Europe. Now, how important will the coaching staff be? What I've also done, if you look at the facilities, I've put bang average 10s, middle of the road facilities for both Rochdale and Chesterfield. And of course, as always, they've got a transfer ban, so they can't bring players in to accommodate and change things up. Don't know why he's still showing as the captain. I've released him. Right, whatever. So as they will progress through the leagues, the thought is they will both go up, and Chesterfield, with the better coaches, should accelerate away in current ability and be far more successful than Rochdale. But will that be the case? Well, today we're going to find that out, and we're going to jump forward 1 year to see who goes up in the Vanarama National League right now, straight after we looked at the season preview, whereas, funnily enough, the media think that Rochdale are going to go up ahead of Chesterfield, even though they've got identical squads. Rochdale just got worse staff. So we'll let the media settle in over the course of the first couple of seasons, but can they both go up? The thing is with only one team going up automatically, one team might get stuck in this league, and I'm saying it's going to be Rochdale. 2024, here we come. Well, full disclosure, am I looking a bit pink? I've just had a bit of a coughing fit. I'm a bit ill, and I'm coming out of being ill. That might sound a bit weird, but a bit of a coughing fit. So if I just all of a sudden just go really red-faced, assume I've just had a coughing fit and carried on with the video, bringing this video to you for your pleasure. So subscribe to the channel in show of solidarity to the commitment I have to you guys, bringing you the educational Football Manager content that you so crave, and like the video and all that jazz. Right, so as you can see, the league table, while I've been waffling about coughing, this is going to be a long video because I can't stop myself. I'm so excited. Hope it's coming across. Chesterfield have finished in second and gone up via the playoffs. Rochdale in third. So we're going to have to quickly look over the squads. 121 for the perfect staff centre forward 2. He's done all right for himself, hasn't he? And loads in the 1-teens. Pretty good. Rochdale, on the other hand, identical. Borderline identical. 121 is the top. Winger, not centre forward. Centre mid's actually retrained himself as a defensive midfielder. Obviously because they don't play central midfield midfielders, Rochdale. They must have a 2 defensive midfield system. They do. Loads in the 1-teens. Again, so yeah, borderline identical. There's not really much to say about this. They look very similar indeed. Season preview, Rochdale, favourites to go up. Media Dream 11 is littered and is identical for Chesterfield. So are we going to see them just follow each other as champions season upon season? Well, let's go and have a look, shall we? In terms of the season awards, the top goal scorer, Dippo Akinyemi. Can't help himself, can he? He's always there, top of the charts. 19 in 42 for the perfect staff centre forward 2, Old Chesterfield. Only one player out of the 2 teams got in the top goal scoring charts. You'd expect more. You would expect more. Anyway, on we move to 2025. Let's keep things rocking and rolling. Smashed it. Absolutely obliterated the league. Look at that. 22 points. 122 points. Only scored 99 goals, to be fair, but 122 points. The Barnets 79. That's 43 points they won the league by. Jesus Christ. That might be one of the biggest margins we've seen in some of these experiments. That is insane. Rochdale, fair play to you lads. Award winners, and the player of the season was James Clark for Solihull Moors. I don't think so, mate. A 7.25. 18 goals for Aaron Jarvis, 13 for Luke Armstrong, and 13 for Josh Kelly. Who scored all our goals then? Honestly, 99 goals for Rochdale. Right, he got 1. I don't know why I've gone to the defenders first. Winger got 10. Winger 2 got 11. Winger 3 got 11. Winger 4 got 6. Played considerably less. Centre attacking midfield got 10. 10 for Cam 2. Centre back got 1. 12 for centre forward 2. 7 for centre forward 3. No for the 2 centre mids. 3 centre mids. 5 for centre mid 3. 7 for defensive mid. Well, they shared the goals around then. They did share the goals around. Fair play to them. Well, they were going to be in League 2, which was won by Chesterfield. So firstly, let's look at the stages. Chesterfield won on 107 points, beating Stevenage in second by 29 points. So the margin was not as big as Rochdale's, but it was still pretty lofty, wasn't it? They scored 92 goals. And the top goal scorer was centre forward 2, beating Macaulay Langstaff and Paul Mullin. Get us a documentary, eh? Season preview for League 2. Well, Rochdale are 91-1 to win, which is, almost certain they're going to win the league. Chesterfield in League 1. Never seen odds like that. 1-167. That's insane. Never seen odds that big. However, the update has just come and I've done this post update, so maybe that's why the odds are different. Look at that. Michael Keane for Birmingham is in the Media Dream 11. Ali Mumba for Plymouth. Nicholas Rodriguez, sorry, just sneezed. Oh, right, I'm not expecting the wingers to be there because the wingers are wingers, not wide midfielders, but I'm surprised at the centre back and left back. Anyway, so down in League 2, Rochdale. Look at their squad then. So 139 is the top we have here for the worst staff left back, and we've got quite a lot in the 130s, loads in the 130s to be fair. 13, and a few in the 120s and quite a few in the 1-teens. A few in the under 21s. Yeah, 2. Why did they do this? Annoys me. Right, so look at the staff as well. As you can see, still got the same staff. They haven't got more staff in, more coaches. They've got exactly the same people that were there before. All these guys are just scouts, doctors, physios, and all that jazz. We might do some other staff-related videos. If you want, let me know in the comments down below which ones you'd want to see. We'll try and set some things up because I'm very interested and now I know how to do it. Success. I've also given the secrets away to anyone else who wants to go and do it. But I suppose it's not really secrets. It's just working it out. And I bet most people had. I'm just stupid. So, Rochdale still got the worst squad. Loads of players in the 130s then. And Chesterfield, they're worse. What? They've got 6 players in the 130s. Loads in the 120s. But their players are worse. Their facilities, the training facilities have gone down to 9. What are Rochdale's facilities saying? They've gone down to 9. So how's this worked out? The worst coaching staff have got players that are considerably better. So what's the point in coaches then? Like I always delegate my assistant manager and director of football to sort out all the coaching because I can't be bothered. Like, I'm so glad I do that. I'm not wasting my time because what a waste of time it is. Ridiculous. We're only 2 years in. It might change. It might change. We might have long-term success. But initially, how have these guys got so many? 132 was the top for Chesterfield, wasn't it? 9 players better off at Rochdale. Playing in a worse league. Yes, they played better, but Chesterfield still won the bloody league by 29 points. So, I'm confused. I'm absolutely baffled. Let's go to 2026. 106 points to 82. Rochdale have absolutely walked the league once again. As did Chesterfield, although they didn't walk it, sorry. They won by 3 points, but they were top of the pile and they've gone up as champions. Rochdale, their squad, 152. 2 players in the 150s, loads in the 140s, then a couple in the 130s and 120s, but 2 in the 150s. And Chesterfield, 145. 145. 7 attribute points worse off. off. Can't believe it. Can't believe it. Season preview. Chesterfield, evens. Promotion on the cards. Wolves just going to do slightly better. Rochdale, 1-91. So not as good as Chesterfield at 1-167. Maybe the media understood that the coaching staff at Chesterfield was much better, but didn't realise that it doesn't actually matter for anything. Mental. Do we think Chesterfield are going to go up? I'm going to say yes. Rochdale definitely are. So let's jump forward to 2027, quick as a flash. No point dilly-dallying. 115 points for Rochdale, beating Stockport, who finished on 80. So the League One gap was 25 points. 35 points, sorry, maths. But 35 points, which was much more than the 3 points of Chesterfield. But of course, Rochdale have had an extra season to progress and be better. Did Chesterfield go up? Drum roll, please. Editor J, drum roll. Fine, suit yourself then. They didn't. They finished 6th. Oh, they got into the playoffs. Oh, wow, look at that. Three teams on 79 points. Chesterfield back here on 77. Luton going up as champions by 12 points. Then Norwich by 5. Then 2 points separated the top 6. The rest of the top 6. It was Bristol City that took the playoff crown home. Wolves beat Chesterfield on penalties. Bristol City beat West Brom on penalties. Then Bristol City beat Wolves in extra time. Well, so now we're both in the same league again. The season preview says Chesterfield 5-6, Rochdale 12-5. Chesterfield fullback, Chesterfield centre back, Chesterfield fullback, Chesterfield defensive midfielder, Chesterfield centre forward. So no players from Rochdale are in the Media Dream 11, which is interesting, which leads me to believe that Rochdale have not progressed as much as Chesterfield have in the most recent season. Let's look at Chesterfield first of all. 156 for 4 players. Quite a few more over 150. Now, we had players at 152 for Rochdale. I'd be surprised if they've not progressed past 156. Very much so. Loads in the 140s, quite a lot in the 150s. Chesterfield, makings of a Premier League team. Probably will go up. If not this season, definitely next season. Rochdale, right. So they haven't actually progressed as much. 153 for the left back, 151 for the winger, and everyone else is in the 140s. Probably where they were. So they actually really stagnated in this season at 21 years old. Now, maybe the coaching staff didn't have that much of a detrimental effect during their peak boom growth years where game time is super important and they were successful game time where they were winning games and they've flown. Now they've probably hit an age where that stops a bit and coaching is much more important and the bad coaching is not doing as well. So maybe it's catching itself up. So does that mean that sending a player out to a club with awful coaching staff, not too bad if they're about 18, 19, you just want them to get first team experience? Maybe that's the takeaway. We're learning as we go here, ladies and gentlemen, and you take away whatever you want to take away from this. You know, if it's nothing, you think it's rubbish, then whatever. But yeah, enlightening in my opinion. So, God, I'm so bunged up. Can you hear it? Let me know in the comments if I sound weird. I apologise. But I couldn't not bring you this video today. So hyped for it. So yeah, championship. It'd be lovely if they both went up together. Top 2. Who would I want to win it? I mean, it defies the logic of the experiment for wanting Rochdale to win. But I feel like they're the underdogs. I feel like Rochdale are going to have it harder. And I think Chesterfield are going to do much better through the experiment. So I'd say let's go Rochdale. So ends 2028 we go. Well, would you look at that? Chesterfield have won the league on 108 points. Rochdale have finished 3rd on 85. They've won the playoffs though. Looking at the playoffs then, Rochdale beat Sunderland 4-3 and faced Blackburn in the final where they won on penalties. So Steve Cooper is in charge of Rochdale. Jim McNulty got sacked. Why was Jim McNulty sacked? 16th of the 10th due to the club's poor league position. So 16th of the 10th here got sacked after the Crystal Palace game. So he had not won. He'd won 2 league games all season, to be fair. Lots of defeats and draws. Oh, to be fair, they did do pretty badly. Then they lost to Bournemouth 3 days later. And then they went on a bit of a tear, didn't they? How many games is that in a row? 12 wins in a row. Really helped them progress up the league. Chesterfield, on the other hand, did very well. And as you can see, Liverpool and City have shared the spoils in the Premier League. Have we still got Pep and Klopp at Liverpool and City? Yes, we do. Champions Leagues have been won by Manchester City, PSG and Barcelona. In terms of the season preview, well, we've got Chesterfield, who are potentially going to finish 8th, Rochdale in 13th. So relegation is not on the cards for either of these two teams, according to the media. And we're going to have a quick look at Rochdale, and we're going to see they've moved up into the 150s, mid 150s, a bit like Chesterfield were last time. So quite a few in the 150s and the 140s. Chesterfield, probably gone north of 160, right? No, up in the high 150s for a lot of players. So they are just a little bit better. A few caps as well sprinkling in for the national team. Gareth Southgate's still in charge. We look at the senior squad and we look at the clubs. We've got Chesterfield So no players for Rochdale, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for Chesterfield. Fair play to them. This guy is in the England squad, yet he's surplus to requirements at Chelsea. Well, it's 2028, and we've got the first season in the Premier League to come. But before we do that, should we have a quick, cheeky look on Ralph Hasenhüttl? He's only their manager of bloody Scotland. He was at Leicester for a couple of years, and Norwich. What's he done then in his career? He got promoted with Norwich, then he left to go and join Leicester. Got sacked as the manager of Leicester, but in November 2027, nearly a year ago, he became the manager of Scotland. Can he lead them to success? Well, I mean, they got knocked out of the group stage of the Euros, but I mean, to be fair, they had a hard group. Spain and Italy. I mean, Czechia are all right, but Spain and Italy, very tough group. Go on, Ralph. We believe in you. Let's go to 2029 and see how they got on their first year in the Premier League. So Man City won the league, and look at that. Rochdale finishing in 9th on 55 points, and 3 points further back on 52. Down in 12th, it was Chesterfield. And we've got European qualification all over the shop here. Newcastle getting Champions League football by winning the Europa League. Yep, Xabi Alonso's Newcastle have won the Europa League. The captain, Sandro Tonali, making him your captain. Bit of a gamble. Oh, they never get old. Chesterfield down in 12th. So let's have a quick look at Rochdale then. Steve Cooper's still in charge. Look at that. They've progressed, haven't they? 170 for 2 players and quite a lot in the 160s and 150s. Chesterfield, Paul Cook's still there. More in the 170s, a lot more in the 160s. So again, the much better team. But Rochdale have finished ahead of Chesterfield for the first time in this experiment in 2029. When you would expect, I mean, to be fair, you go, oh, Chesterfield's squad's a tiny bit better. They've got the best coaches in the world, and Rochdale have got the worst coaches in the world. They should not be that close. It should be like here. Like Rochdale should maybe still be in League One with players at like 140, and Chesterfield should be where they are. But no, they're both in the Premier League. Rochdale have just finished ahead of them. Season preview, Chesterfield and Rochdale, the same odds. Split by Everton, who are in the Europa League. No one is in the Media Dream 11 for either player yet. Ryan Cherky is the Media Dream 11. 174? Must be a 150 to 180 variable. All right then. We'll have a quick look at the FA Cup. No trophies for either team. No team. Neither of them won a trophy. But just wanted to check the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup. I mean, look at this. Look at these runners up. Luton, Sunderland, Nottingham Forest. Villa winning it. Right, on to 2030 we go quick. And look at that. Both teams getting Europa League football and hang about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I thought 2 teams on 68 points. I thought that was Chesterfield and Rochdale. It wasn't. That was Chesterfield and Man United. Rochdale was 7 points further back on 61 points. Both getting Europa League football though. 83 points for Man City and Liverpool. It was goal difference that won them the league. West Ham getting relegated with Birmingham and Luton. Newcastle here down in 10th. So Rochdale, their squad is in the mid 170s and quite a few over 170 now. Chesterfield, surely anyone in the 180s? No, mid 170s. They've got more, but they're stagnating themselves. Is this the facilities then that is causing the issue? I mean, they are 24. They are going to grow slower, but I would still expect them to be growing faster than they are, especially with perfect coaching. If we look at the staff, as you can see, they still have got exactly... Oh, they've got another goalkeeping coach here. Oh, and Ewan Sharp. They've bought another coach here. I mean, he's crap. What's the point in him? Oh, he's for the under-18s. Under-18s. Apologies. Yeah, under-18 squad. Sorry. The senior squads up here. All of these, just still all the same coaches. Rochdale, just double check that. Yep. Scouts, physios, doctors, and then here's the coaches. All rubbish still. Although Mike Marsh is now here as an assistant manager. His job's the director of football. Why is all the coaching team got jobs of director of football? Well, their job. It says their job. So probably a glitch in the system, glitch in the matrix. Whatever. Caps. Chesterfield. Rochdale are also getting caps now as well. Eddie Howe in charge of England. Oh, they're in the round of 16 currently. And Elliot Kidner. Oh, he's a regen. Centre back with a hat trick in the World Cup, as you do against Jamaica. Look at that. Worst staff, perfect staff. They're mixing it up for England, representing. Lost to Germany on penalties in the Euros anyway. Okay. So I'd normally, in this juncture, I'd like to go forward more. 5th for Chesterfield, 7th for Rochdale in terms of the media predictions. And left back 2, Chesterfield left back 2 is the first player to be in the Media Dream 11. The reason I don't want to jump too many years in the future, we're going to go season by season, is because they're so close to getting to 200, but I don't want to jump like 3 or 4 years and then just like both teams to have players there. I want to know who gets there first, because I can't believe Rochdale are keeping pace. And I'd be interested to see if Rochdale actually do something in the league. Like they could get to the top of the league better than Chesterfield. They're keeping pace. They're 7 points off. Like, that's a couple of games. You know, that's a couple of late goals, turning draws into wins, and Chesterfield might concede a couple. And boom, Rochdale overtake them. Not a lot between it. Small margins. 2031. Well, okay. This is what I'm expecting. This is what I was expecting. Chesterfield have actually lost the league title on goal difference. Please don't tell me they lost in the last couple of games. Rochdale getting Conference League football in 8th. I'm not sure what's happened to Arsenal. Have Rochdale just won the Carabao Cup? Roberto De Zerbi's Rochdale have just won the Carabao Cup in 2031. The first trophy of the experiment, beating Chelsea in the final. Brighton beat City in the final there. So, but Roberto De Zerbi's Rochdale have won that. Now, where's the players at? 187. Okay, so they've jumped. They've absolutely flown in this most recent season. Quite a few over 180. Chesterfield won the Europa League in 2031. So they've won the second trophy, barring the lower league titles. But they won it the same season as the Carabao Cup. Carabao Cup finals just first. Fair play to them. And 187, same. More players in the 180s, though. More players in the 180s. They did... So, hang on. Season preview. Chesterfield 2nd, Rochdale 5th. And look at that. The entire Chesterfield defence is the back four. Rochdale have got a central midfielder, though, in the middle. Man City's Jude Bellingham. £308 million. Jesus Christ. That was outright. £308 million. Insane. No. The last day of the season, Chelsea drew to City. Rochdale won and Chesterfield won. So actually, Chelsea nearly threw it away. Rochdale beat City. Chesterfield lost to Leeds as Rochdale beat Leicester. Chelsea drew to Liverpool. So yeah, both teams are throwing it away, to be fair. So yeah, whatever. So Conference League for Rochdale, Champions League for Chesterfield. I think Rochdale are going to win the Conference League. So let's go to 2032. Okay, so Chesterfield have been second again. The same goals and the same goals against as Man City, who won the league, just 2 points better off. City drew 2 more games where Chesterfield ended up losing. Rochdale third on 74 points, so fair play to them. Firstly, season preview now, second and third respectively as well. We'll have a look at Rochdale. So Roberto De Zerbi's Rochdale did not win the Europa Conference League. They lost in the quarter-final to Eintracht Frankfurt. It was eventually won by Lazio. Got to say, that was an opportunity for a trophy there, unfortunately. 190, 191 and 2 at 190, quite a few in the 180s as well. I've just realised the Rochdale kit looks very much like what I'm wearing. It's an Inter Milan kit. I'm not supporting Rochdale in this experiment and wearing a Rochdale shirt. It's Inter Milan. But just like no planning ahead of this. I didn't go, oh, that looks a bit like it, I'll wear it. Just happened, hasn't it? Just realised now, 40 minutes into the record, or however long it is since you've started watching. I mean, yeah, you noticed it a lot longer ago. Fair play to you. Chesterfield won the Europa Super Cup and the European South American Club Challenge, and they've got players 197, 196. Look at that, loads in the 190s now. They are going to win the league next season. They're going to win the league. Telling you now, Chesterfield are going to win the league next season. Guaranteed. Let's go to 2033. Oh, I've said it now. Watch Rochdale win it. Oh my God, they have. Rochdale have won the league. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Rochdale have won the league. Is that De Zerbi? Is that De Zerbi being the better manager? I mean, training facilities is much better for Chesterfield. Have they got players at 200? They have. 3 at 199, 2 at 198, 1 at 200. They're representing. Luis Enrique is now in charge. Roberto De Zerbi resigned. Why? Oh, he's gone to become the manager of England. How many Rochdale players has he got in the England squad? More than Chesterfield? Wow, look at that. 9 from Chesterfield, 9 from Rochdale. I mean, yeah. I mean, look at how good they are. In some of these in the 170s, you'd be like, But yeah, sorry, we've not even looked at Rochdale. So yeah, 198. So they're getting up there, but they're not there yet. But they've just won the league. I'm amazed. They won the league. Rochdale won the league by 7 points as well. It was Chesterfield in second. So Chesterfield have been second 3 seasons in a row. We look at past winners here. Chesterfield are just waiting their turn. They've waited behind Man City and Chelsea, and they were right ready there. And Rochdale were coming up behind, and they leapfrogged them, and they've gone and won it, and Chesterfield have come second. Surely. I mean, the fact that Rochdale have won the league first and they've got players that are basically there, even with the worst coaches, speaks volumes as that coaching doesn't really matter. But who's going to have the better time of it? I can't believe it. Chesterfield, surely. So what we're going to do, I'm going to just again, 2034, season preview. Let's have a look at the season preview quick. The identical odds. The media can't pick between them. Surely they're going to do it. Come on, Chesterfield. I feel bad for Chesterfield here. They've got everything. I feel like Chesterfield are the underdogs. Okay, they've done it. Chesterfield have won the league, and actually Rochdale are down in 4th on 76 points. But Chesterfield on 84 points have got their first Premier League trophy to their name in the 2034 season. And look at that for the top 6. All 6 teams getting in the Champions League as well. So someone's won the Champions League. Chesterfield and Rochdale were 2 of the teams in it. Who else was it? City and... I'm not sure. I mean, Everton are doing all right. They're the tycoon. They have. Ryan Saha in 2027. He scales down the funding, but he has taken over. And they're getting Champions League football. Look at that. West Ham relegated again. They must have come back up. Arsenal down in 16th. Not doing very good. So yeah. Look at that. Chesterfield beat Rochdale in the Carabao Cup final. A 1-0 win. Perfect centre forward 2 with the goal. All 200 out of 200 of his ability. Fair play to him. The Carabao Cup has gone to Chesterfield. The FA Cup went to Man City as they beat Bournemouth. And it was Chesterfield. Well, Chesterfield have actually got to the final of the Champions League 3 years in a row. I didn't realise this. I've not checked in on it because they hadn't won it. But they lost to PSG in the final. They've lost to Man City in the final. And they've got revenge on Man City by beating them. And they beat City 2-1 with a late penalty. Oh, he missed a penalty in the 89th minute as well, but he did get a penalty and he did dispatch it. 178 current ability. Rubbish. Still pretty world class. So there we go then. Right, this is rumbled on. We've got a trophy, a league trophy each. We're in the Champions League mix with Chesterfield have won a Champions League. The season preview says Chesterfield are going to win the league more. The season preview says Chesterfield are favourites to win the league. They've got far more players sort of at the potential of where they're at 200. They're all at 28 years old. I'm going to jump forward. I'm going to go 5 years now to 2039. Before a final jump of 6 years, before we then just sim on for another few years just to see how they do without all the players, even with the coaches still at the club. 2039, here we come. So 33-34, Chesterfield first, Rochdale fourth, as we saw. The following season, it was a top 2 for the pairing, and it was Chesterfield winning by 11 points. I think the gulf has started to open up here. It certainly has. 21 points was the difference between Chesterfield and Rochdale, and Chesterfield got an unbeaten season, ladies and gentlemen. Luis Enrique is now the manager, because Paul Cook retired. He's only been there a year, so Paul Cook was still in charge. An unbeaten Premier League season. And again, Chesterfield have won the league by 13 points. And again, by 8 points. And by 6 points. Rochdale, look at that. 92 points. So, in terms of the senior squad, they got loads of players over the 190, still at 33 years old. Mikel Arteta's in charge. Luis Enrique left a year ago. And Mikel Arteta is now in charge. As you can see, the Carabao Cup has been shared between Rochdale and Chesterfield over the last 5 years. It's been 2 apiece. The FA Cup, 1 for Chesterfield and a runner-up for Chesterfield. But Rochdale have been in the final of the Champions League 4 years in a row, winning 2 of them, beating Chesterfield in the 36-37 final, 1-0. Champions League winner, worst staff winger 1 with a goal against Chesterfield. So 2 Champions Leagues for Rochdale. I mean, Chesterfield have won how many Premier Leagues? 6. So I would say Chesterfield are doing better, but worse in Champions Leagues, which is surprising. Very surprising. The season preview think Rochdale are going to win it. Where are Chesterfield in terms of their ability? Still got 2 at 200 at 33 years old. They've not dropped off in the slightest. Let's go to 2045 then. Yeah, we last heard 98 to 92 points, and I think they're going to start to fall away. Will they both stay in the league? Be interesting if neither of them get relegated. That'd be nice. So the following season, oh my God, Chesterfield won it on goal difference. Rochdale can't catch a break, can they? Then Rochdale fell away, 7th. Still getting Champions League football. They've won the Champions League again. Rochdale, you dirty bastards. I can't believe they've won the Champions League from 7th. Oh my God. Chesterfield won the league again. Rochdale down in 9th. Then Manchester United, Chesterfield in 4th, Rochdale in 11th. So Rochdale have fallen away a lot faster with the lack of coaching. 71 points won the league. Fulham are in 2nd. Where'd Fulham come from? Fulham 4th. Fulham were 9th. They were 3rd back here. I never even noticed that. Fulham in 2nd. Fulham have won it. Fulham have won the league. 81 points. Ahead of Everton. Chesterfield and Rochdale, oh my God, down in here. 14th and 16th respectively. We've got one more season. 44-45 season. And they've stayed up. Both teams have stayed up. Go on, lads. 14th and 16th again. So Chesterfield, again, finishing ahead of Rochdale almost every single season. Shaden Morris is in charge. Just the 1 Champions League. In terms of managers, Luis Enrique retired, Mikel Arteta got sacked, Joel Ward got sacked, and Shaden Morris is there currently. Just the 1 Champions League. When we know Rochdale have got another. We do know it. And there it is. 3 Champions Leagues. I mean, 3 Champions Leagues in 1 league to 1 Champions League in 9 leagues. I mean, you've got to say that Chesterfield's time was more successful, but 3 Champions Leagues for Rochdale with the worst coaching possible. 140s for a lot of the players and 30s and 20s. Chesterfield, 160, 150, high 140s. So they've held on to their ability a lot more. They have held on to their ability a lot more. Look at that, 180 caps. 135 caps. So a quick look at the short list and just look at the cap. 180, 146, 142 for Rochdale. So in terms of England, Johnny Foreman is in charge. They've won a Euros in 2032 and they've won a World Cup in 2034. So golden generation for England. I'm surprised they didn't win more with some players as good as they were. The golden ball is, how we got here? We got one for Chesterfield and one for Rochdale. So one apiece in terms of Ballon d'Ors. Football of the Year, 2 for Rochdale. Centre forward 2 and centre forward 2 again. So he's won it twice. He has won Football of the Year twice. Player of the Year, staff winger, worst winger 1. So he's won it twice. He scored the goal in the Champions League final as well in a 1-0 win. Fair play to him. So Rochdale have had the better personal accolades. If we look at, just have a quick look at the Champions League and past winners. They beat Newcastle. They did beat Newcastle. Okay. Team of the Year then, and all seasons. Has anyone made it in from either team? Yes. Well, it's all about the defence. Let me move out of the way, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the perfect goalkeeper for Chesterfield. It's all Chesterfield, to be fair. They only won 1 Champions League. Left back, centre back, and right back. Perfect winger 1 was also there for Chesterfield. Oh, yeah. They've got 1.06 billion and Rochdale have got 845 million. They're both about to get massive influxes of cash. Season preview is saying that they're both going to finish down sort of in the depths and potentially get relegated. Let's go forward to 2054 then, where I think that's where I've simulated to 2054. Well, they're both still in the Premier League then. Past winners, so no one's won it. Tottenham, City and Everton have been up and winning it. Chesterfield, quickly look at FA Cups. Again, no trophies, no Carabao Cups. Competitions. So, domestic leagues, they went down to the Championship, as you'd expect. They finished 20th. Wow, 9 points. Wow. I wonder what Rochdale got. We'll have a look. In the Championship for a few years, came up automatically. In the Premier League for a few years, they went down. They've just come back up, and this is their first season back in the big time. Dale of Roch, well, bugger me. He stayed up. Well, Chesterfield had 9 points and went down. Rochdale stayed up on 47, and they've been up every season except they went down in the 2050-51 season on 19 points. Came straight back in second on 92 points, and they've been up here for another couple of seasons. So Rochdale have actually done better than Chesterfield, post all the players leaving. They've still got the worst coaches imaginable. There they are. They're all about to leave, and they're all about to go another season. Then they're going to go to Al Ittihad, but that's the end of the experiment. So where do you sit on this experiment? Coaching doesn't matter, right? That's what we're taking away from it. I know people might say, oh, well, you should do players that aren't max potential because it might be a bit more realistic, but they had to still get there, and they did. Like, average facilities to start with. They had the same facilities. They had the same starting positionings in the league. Chesterfield did better, but it wasn't like so much better that Rochdale did awful. 3 Champions Leagues. Like, Rochdale literally won more Champions Leagues. Yes, Chesterfield won far more league titles, but Rochdale was second nearly every step of the way to them. And the fact that Rochdale finished ahead of them on the odd occasion and won the first Premier League title in themselves, amazing. I can't believe it. So, well, there you go. That's the perfect staff versus the worst staff. I'm baffled. I mean, shall we do this with facilities? Average staff, maybe? I'm not sure. If we do, we'll probably do it with... if we might do, we might not. We'll see. But I hope you had a lovely time, ladies and gentlemen. Please do like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you thought about this in the comments down below, and any ideas for future staff experiments. Now we can do them. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.